All right, guys, for those who don't know me, my name's Nikki. Today we are going to be doing a deep stretch 30-minute class only. So I was just saying to the group that's here before, the only prop you may want is a block or a book for a little support in pigeon. Otherwise, we don't really need anything. So if you want to join me, we're going to do just a quick little breath centering here in our Shavasana. So we're moving deep today, so I want you to focus on taking nice, big, deep, slow breaths. Always inhaling to lengthen the spine. And take a nice, slow, deep exhale. Those. Try and melt a little deeper into each and every pose, remembering it's only 30 minutes and the weather's getting cooler, so if you're not in a very warm place, just take things a little slower. Never pushing into any pain, especially in the spine. When you're ready, let's pull our knees into our chest and just do a little rocking side to side. This is one of my favorite things to start off a practice. Like most of you, I spend a lot of time sitting at my desk doing some work, maybe drawing some circles, so I find this is a good little release here. Switch directions if you're drawing circles. Good. Let's plant the feet. I'm going to drop them over the right side. Lift the right arm up and just roll onto the right side body here. Our left hand's in the ground. Our head's just resting on the bicep. Just give me one more big breath here. When you're ready, we're going to push ourselves into a nice tabletop position here. Moving your hips, whatever is comfortable. I'm going to bring my knees mat width apart, big toes together as I exhale. Sink the hips down, just look up just for a second. And then slowly the hands slide forward as the forehead comes to the ground for a nice wide Badakanasana. So remember, deep stretching today, you can keep it active or passive. So I'm going to keep mine active. I'm going to lift my forearms off the mat. I'm going to reach my fingertips forward as I exhale, trying to melt my hips into the mat. Doing any adjustment you need to here. Last breath, just like this. I'm gonna lift my forehead up, walk my fingertips just a little bit so my elbows and hands are, or my hands are on the ground, my arms are off the ground. I'm gonna flip my right palm to face the sky. For thread the knee, I'm gonna slide my right hand straight underneath my left armpit, reaching as far as I can to bring the right shoulder and right ear to the mat. If you want, you can bring the left hand in and you can press it into the ground, trying to twist a little deeper. As we exhale, melting into that right shoulder. Really pressing into the mat with that right shoulder to get a little deeper in the upper back. That's it. One more big, slow, deep breath here. Just slide my left arm out, palm into the ground, pressing myself back up, bringing the right hand to meet the left, looking up. Good. Left hand flips up this time. Thread the knee on the other side, so I'm going to take it shoulder height, reaching as far away as I can, and then I drop the left shoulder, left ear this time. You can keep the right hand reaching out, or you can bring it in a little closer under the shoulder so you press into the floor, trying to twist a little deeper here, deepening the stretch in that upper back and shoulder. Just breathing here, letting the hips melt, pressing that shoulder into the mat. One more big breath. That's it. I'm going to slide the right hand out in front of me, pressing it in to the mat. And then I'm going to bring my hips forward, walking the knees together as I drop the hips. Just a nice modified plank. Nice big inhale here. And let's exhale down to the ground through chaturanga. Elbows are tight. Inhale, just lift a little baby cobra. Exhale, coming back down the ground. Stay here. Planting the feet on the ground here, pressing the feet into the mat, lifting the legs up off the ground with the feet still in, so just nice straight legs. And relax. The inhale, I'm going to come up just to Sphinx, just a little quick Sphinx here, so my elbows are below my shoulders. Lifting up through the chest, making sure we're not sinking in the shoulders. And I'm going to roll onto my right side, so keep the right hand where it is. Bring it a little in front of you if you want, but I'm going to roll onto my hips, stacking the hips. You may find you're shrugging the shoulder, press up. All right. Want to get a nice little spinal stretch here on this right side. If you want, you can press up into that right hand, making sure we're not hinging forward. I'm just creating this little rainbow shape here. You can flex the feet. It's okay if your top leg goes a little out. If you want to go deeper, you can walk that right hand in. But just listen to your spine, what's comfortable. Pushing the hips forward, and you want to keep them stacked. Just a little nice side body stretch here. Keeping that shoulder strong. Don't let it shrug here. One more big breath. Good. I'm going to slowly, if you got your elbow coming back down to that right elbow, roll back through. Just Sphinx pose, sending the elbows up. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest. Good. This time I'm going to roll onto the left side body, stacking the left hips, flexing the feet. You can bring that left hand in a little bit, pressing up through the shoulders so you feel it this time on this left side. Again, you can come up onto that hand if you want, making sure I'm hinging in that lateral plane of motion. You don't want to crunch forward at all. Shoulder and neck are strong. Maybe pulling the right ear to the right shoulder. Not overstretching in that spine though. One more big breath here. You're up on your hand, coming back down onto your forearm. Then we're going to roll back through Sphinx one more time. Lifting the chest. And again, you can express your Sphinx here fully if you'd like. So you can stay here if this is a deep enough stretch, or you can come up onto your palms. Making sure we're not squeezing the glutes, so relax them. Pulling the shoulders back down into their socket. One last breath here. Good. Dropping to the elbows. Bring the hands below the shoulders as I bring the forehead to the mat. Inhaling, pressing through tabletop. Curling the toes under, exhaling, downward facing dog. So let's walk out our dog. It's our staple in our class. Great for the hamstrings, great for the calves. It's okay if you're not quite open up yet. You can always keep the knees nice and soft. Keep the arms strong and tug the arms into the body. Nice little internal rotation with the shoulders. When you're ready, find some stillness. Again, you can always have the knees soft if you're not quite ready. Straight legs here. Maybe pressing the chest a little closer to those legs, though if you want a deeper stretch. Or maybe trying to pull those heels to the ground to really get those calves going. One more big breath here. You can bend your knees as much as you want as you walk your feet towards your hands here in a nice forward fold. Letting those heads hang. Again, soften the knees if you have to. Let's bring opposite hand to opposite elbow here though for a nice ragdoll. Letting the arms pull the body down just a little bit more. Maybe adding a little rocking side to side motion. As you're here, trying to straighten those legs a little bit more if they're not. Engaging the quads. Maybe pressing the toes in the mat to release those hamstrings just a little bit more. Good. I'm going to release my hands. As I take my next inhale, I'm going to come to a nice halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Soften the knees as we inhale, come to rise. Sweep the arms up. Palms come together. Exhale through heart center. And release. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, just swan dives forward. Plant the hands, we can bend the knees. We're gonna step the left leg back into a nice lunge position. You can adjust your feet however you need to. I'm gonna drop the back left knee. I've got a thinner mat today, so I'm just gonna fold it over to protect the knee. I'm gonna walk the right foot to the outside edge of my mat and bring both hands to the inside. I'm gonna point the right toes out just to the side, just for a nice little opener in the hip. Pushing the hips down and forward for this nice lizard. You can release that back foot. Lengthening out with the spine. Stay up on your hands because we're going to go into a twist in a second. So just stay up here. Focus on the hips. Trying to create a nice flat back. Good. I'm going to bring the left hand in just so it's kind of center of my mat. As I inhale, sweep the right arm up and over. Exhale, twist fully. Opening up as far as you can. Keeping that that right knee hugged in. Don't let it splay out, pressing the foot into the ground. Looking up towards those right fingertips. Strong in the shoulders. Two big breaths here. Sink deeper on those exhales. Last breath. Good. Bringing the right hand down when you're ready. I'm going to start walking my hands back towards my left knee as I straighten the right leg for half splits here. Flip the toes up, nice straight leg. If you can't keep the hands on the ground, just bring them to your hips. Trying to keep a nice flat back here, lifting the gaze, lifting the chin. Let's do some windshield wipers in that right heel, right from the hip socket, side to side with the foot. Feel the activation, different parts of the hamstrings on the back of that leg. That's it. Find some stillness here. Give me one big breath. Exhale, melt. As we inhale, walk yourself back up into this lunge position. I'm going to lift the back left knee, stepping the right foot back, downward dog. We're going to do just a nice modified flow here, but feel free to do a full flow if you want. But remember, it's a nice, deep, gentle stretch. As we inhale, come to plank, drop the knees. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale. Inhaling back up through tabletop, curling the toes under. Exhaling through downward dog. Just one more big breath here. Finding some slowness in that breath. This time as you walk your feet towards your hands, bend the knees nice and deeply so you're in a nice little squatted position. Heels can come up, giving yourself a nice little hug. You can rock yourself here. If your heels are on the ground, that's all right too. Just twisting it out. Finding length in the spine. A little balance along those balls of the feet. Good. Find some stillness. Let's plant the hands, straighten the legs into a nice forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale down, back to forward fold. Let's step your right foot back this time. So the left foot's forward. Lengthening out through the hips, dropping that back knee. You can always fold the mat over, as I'm doing now. I'm going to walk the left foot out to the edge of the mat. Have the toes out just a little bit if you choose. Sinking the hips down here. Again, finding length in your lizard. Staying up on the hands so we can go into our twist. That's it. Sinking deeper and deeper. We're pushing the hips down and forward. Strong through the shoulders. Almost like we're trying to do a nice push up here at the top. Last breath here, guys, and we're going to twist it up. Good. I'm going to bring the right hand in now, more to the center of my mat. So inhale, sweep the left arm up to the left. Exhale, twist a little deeper, hugging that left leg in, looking up to those left fingertips. Creating this nice T with the arms. That's it. Breathing, exhaling, twisting a little deeper. 2 more breaths here. Last breath. Good. Bringing the left hands down. I'm going to walk my hands now back towards my right leg. Flipping the left leg up for half Badakanasana. Toes come up. Again, hands come onto the hips if they can't be on the ground. You can have your left hand on the outside or the inside of your leg. It's not big of a deal. And as that option, you can start windshield wipering that foot, making sure it stays flexed. Just rocking side to side here. Really exhaling, sinking down though into that hamstring stretch. So I'm just sinking deeper a little bit with that glute to the ground. And find some stillness with that foot. Give me a nice big inhale here. Exhale, try and hinge a little deeper. Nice flat back. 1 more big breath. Good. I'm going to bend into that left knee again. Walk my hands forward. Lift up that right leg, step it back, downward dog. Finding a nice long dog for 2 breaths. Last breath. This time, keeping the legs straight as you can. I'm going to walk my feet towards my hands, which means I'm going to hip hike my hips up, trying to keep my feet just moving and legs straight until I get right into a forward fold. Bend, of course, as you need to. Let the head hang here. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward, soften the knees. As we inhale, sweeping up, come to rise. Palms come together. Exhale through heart center. And release. Grab a quick drink if you'd like. And we'll make our way back down to the ground. Working on a little bit of our quads now. You have lots of hamstrings I find in yoga, so I'm going to work on those quads a little bit. Another big deep breath to come join me here in Tadasana. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, folding over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back into plank. Drop the knees as we inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, just lift the chin, lift the chest for baby cobra. Exhale, come down. Again, inhale, coming back up for baby cobra. Again, get the arms underneath the shoulders. All right, we are going to do half bow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right hand, and I'll just move my left arm so you can see. I'm going to slide my palm right by my side, or you can bring it a little in front. It's up to you. I'm going to keep mine here. So I'm already in an up inclined position on the up side. So let's bend the left knee, and I'm going to grab the inside of my foot. If you can't grab the inside, you can grab the outside. And just focus on this little bit of a quad stretch here. And then you want to go deeper. You're going to start to kick your foot into your hand and lift the quad up off the mat. Looking over that left shoulder since it's just half bow. I feel like my leg's not that high up, but that's okay. If you lower your upper body a little bit, you'll get a little higher. So it's just a little bit of a balance. Pressing that foot into the hand, expanding through your back space. Just one more big breath here. And lowering the leg down, releasing the foot, bringing yourself back almost into that Sphinx pose, elbows below shoulders. Inhale, lift up. This time I'm going to bring the left hand over to my right elbow, my left arm supporting me as I bend the right leg. I'm going to reach my right hand back and grab my right foot. Again, you can grab the inside or the outside of your foot. It's up to you. I'm just going to start with this nice little quad stretch, pulling my foot towards my glutes, strong in the shoulder. I'm going to start to kick my foot into my hand, lift it up, start expanding with that foot, lifting just slightly. It's okay. Again, you can come a little closer to the ground if you want to be able to lift the leg up, maybe looking over that right shoulder. Building some strength in the shoulder, the back, and that leg as we stretch out the quad. Last breath here. Good. Gently let the right leg come back down on the ground. Release the foot, bringing the hands back into that nice Sphinx pose. As we inhale here. As I exhale, I'm going to lower myself to the ground, hands below shoulders. Inhaling, pressing up through tabletop, setting your knees below the hips, engaging the core. I'm going to start to walk my hands forward here. We're going into puppy pose. So I want to keep my hips above the shoulder or above the knees as I bring my chest, chin, or forehead to the mat. The forehead's a little bit easier if you bring your chin to the mat. It's a little bit of a harder stretch. And as you exhale, you're trying to melt your chest towards the ground. Nice little back bend here. Opening up the chest as well. Taking those nice big deep breaths. Last one. I'm going to put my forehead on the mat so I can walk my hands below my shoulders a little easier, and I'm pressing back up into tabletop, giving me a nice big inhale here. Curling the toes under as we exhale into downward dog so we can go into our nice fun pigeon. Inhaling, lifting the right leg to the sky, reach, reach, reach. Then I'm going to pull the right knee to the right wrist and then slide the left foot as close to the left wrist as I can, dropping the back knee. I'm going to walk my knee back. This is where I said you may want an optional block. You can stick it under that right hip, but just an option. Letting that back toe go. Just check, making sure it's not splaying out and straight back. And you want to square your hips off to face the front. And I'll give you the option to come down if you'd like. You know, if you're down kind of halfway, supporting yourself with your shoulders or maybe stacking some fists, or bringing your forehead all the way to the mat, depending on what feels good for you. Now, I always like to do a little rocking in this pose, but just make sure you're not overdoing the stretch. It's a very deep stretch already. That's it. Again, express this pigeon however works for you. Giving me 2 more big, slow, deep breaths. Just trying to relax the shoulders and upper body if you can. Last one. When you're ready, we're going to lift ourselves back up into a nice tall pigeon. I'm going to curl the back left toes under, walking my knee in as I lift the left leg, stepping it back, downward dog. One breath here. As you inhale next, lift the left leg up, reach it to the sky, reach, reach, reach. And pull the left knee to the left wrist, and then bring the right foot underneath as I drop the back knee, walking those hips back, sinking it down. Again, squaring the hips off to face the front. If you want, your block can be under this left hip now. And I invite you to walk yourself down. Again, it doesn't matter if your left and right side aren't quite balanced. Just listen to your body where it wants to be. Again, you can add a few rocks here if you'd like. Not necessary. That's it. Breathing deep, melting on those exhales. Last big breath here. And when you're ready, we're going to walk ourselves back up to a nice tall pigeon. If you have the block under that hip, you're going to move it up because we're going to all just roll onto that left hip so we can swing both our legs forward. Starting here in a nice Dandasana, hands below the shoulders, pressing to the mat, flexing the toes, sitting up nice and tall. If you find you're sagging, press that chest forward. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. If you can, grabbing the outside of your feet, if not, just grabbing the shins. By grabbing the outside of your feet, we're going to actually, what we call pronate the feet. Just get a little deeper stretch in our peroneal muscles. Otherwise, just grab the outside of the legs. It's okay. We're working on those hamstrings. Letting yourself just melt here. Two more breaths. Last one. When you're ready, inhaling, coming up. I'm going to bend the knees. Doesn't quite matter how much, but if you're not flexible, you want to bend them as much as you can grab the feet here. So I'm going to keep my feet nice and strong and flexed. I'm not going to allow my hands to pronate them because I've got the outside, but I'm going to pull my hands into my feet and let my shoulder blades kind of move away from the spine as I do a nice little rounding here. So give a nice little upper back stretch. Don't pull too hard. We don't want to overdo it. That's it. Tucking the chin. Just two more big breaths here. Last one. Inhaling, coming back up. I'm going to bend my knees even more so the soles of my feet can come down. I'm going to let the legs fall apart for Badakanasana. And if you can, with a flat back, grab your feet. If not, just let your arms relax on your thighs here. This is our last pose. Feel the inner thighs. Breathing in those hips. That's it. Just one more big breath here. As you inhale, coming up, straighten the legs out. I'm just going to walk my tush a little bit more because I'm going to come to a nice lying down reclined position. As I inhale, sweep the arms up. For a count of 4, let's lower the torso down to the ground. Here we go. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can bring the hands by your side, closing the eyes, letting the feet go. Shavasana. So this is a quick 30-minute practice, which means I don't give a lot of time for Shavasana. But for those who have time, I encourage you to stay here for a few extra minutes, holding on to this nice, deep, slow breath, the rhythm you found. Letting that breath let you melt and relax deeper and deeper. I know some of us don't have that luxury. So just give me 2 more big, slow, deep breaths here. Your biggest, deepest, and slowest yet. Last one. We're all going to bring our hands to prayer position at heart center. Thanking ourselves for showing up for this deep yoga stretch today. Knowing that sometimes we really need to just slow it down and let ourselves relax physically and mentally to help recharge and re-energize our mental focus and energies. And I was always thanking you and your fellow yogis for sharing in this practice and all your energies today. From the light in me to the light in you, namaste. So remember, when you are ready to leave, grab some water and move slowly. And if you've got the time, stay here for at least a few more breaths to finish off your practice. Have a great day, guys.